I'm Carl Herman. I'm the Director of Executive Education for the Sales Excellence Institute. I've been with the Institute since 1999, 2005 as a full-time faculty member. Prior to that, I had a 30-year career in technology sales and sales management. And about 2/3 of the way through that 30 years, came here and started teaching. So I've taught most of the classes in the Program for Excellence in Selling and the Sales Excellence Institute, and really enjoy what I'm doing in my executive education role. The purpose of the digital sales and CRM modules is to accomplish a couple of things. First of all, this is the area of greatest change in the sales profession. The move from face-to-face and phone sales to true virtual or digital sales. So we want to make sure that all of our participants understand where the industry is going, what the trends are in sales. Then the second is a pragmatic look at adoption and use of digital sales solutions and adoption and use of customer relationship management, which is a required component of digital sales. The agenda for the classes is again, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to first talk about the trends in sales. Where is sales going as a profession? And of course, the answer to that is that it's becoming more and more dependent upon non-face-to-face technology. A significant portion of what the buyer goes through now is much less face-to-face than it used to be. In fact, numbers are anywhere from 56% to 80% of what a buyer needs to know, they now know before they ever interact with a salesperson. So first thing we have to understand is, what do they know? How do they learn it? And how can we, number one, impact and be involved earlier to reduce that 56% so we have more control over it? And number two, recognizing that that's what buyers are going through, how do we react differently as salespeople? So we talk about the solutions that are available in digital sales, whether it's integration with digital marketing, so we have effective leads and powerful leads, whether it's doing research before we ever place a call, before we ever meet someone, because the bar is very high in that respect these days. Salespeople need to know more because it's possible to before they call someone, or whether it's using your own LinkedIn and LinkedIn profile to put yourself out there as a knowledgeable expert in the area that the buyer might be looking for. We cover all those things in the digital sales module. Then we talk a little bit about cold calling and how cold calling is really no longer part of the world of sales. And the trend is it's being replaced by warm calling, or really engaging with a prospect that's already a prospect because they've done so much of the own work. How does that change our world, and how does that change what we do? And we talk a lot about research methods so we can warm up cold calls. How can we learn more about the customer before we call them in the first place? Then we talk about CRM, and we talk about the critical importance of CRM, why there's a significant return on investment from an effective implementation of customer relationship management. And then we spend a considerable amount of time talking about the antecedents for adoption of a CRM system. What is highly correlated with successful CRM adoption, and what are some potholes to watch for that keep organizations from effective use of CRM? Because we hear that all the time. The key takeaways, number one, is understand where the industry is going. How might my organization change? Might we be moving towards an inside sales model versus an outside sales model, or some hybrid combination of the two? If we are, what are the implications on that for how I manage my salespeople, what activities I'm looking for, how I compensate them? Number two, we're looking for an understanding of how to get our salespeople to adopt these new technologies, how to make it more effective, whether it's CRM or an AI module for lead verification, or any of the other myriad new technologies that are becoming available for salespeople.